Hello everyone, this is Victor for PhoneArena, and today we'll take a look at the Nokia X7. We expect this to be one of the last handsets featuring Symbian, last high-end handsets featuring Symbian, and in our case it will bring the Symbian Anna update. It's the first handset we see running Symbian Anna, and that's also known as the PR2 update, which brings a lot of new major features like a ported QWERTY keyboard, an improved browser, but we'll speak more about those later. First thing that you notice when you fire up the phone is the 4-inch AMOLED screen. It's a very beautiful screen with deep blacks and nice contrasts, but the resolution unfortunately is subpar, and we'll take a closer look so you can see for yourself here. The resolution is NHD or 360 by 640 pixels, and that's way below what the competition has to offer. In terms of the build quality of the Nokia X7, we're looking at a very well-built handset. You have a choice of premium materials. You can see the metal cover on the back, and it overall has a solid feeling in the hand. And this design is also pretty unique. You see the 4 speaker grills. Actually, those are just 2 speaker grills and an additional 2 grills which are only for decoration. The speaker grills are at the bottom of the handset. The front also holds the menu key at the bottom right here. Up top you have the ear speaker and the proximity sensor. On the right hand side you can see the dedicated shutter camera key, and you have a volume rocker. And on the left you have 2 trays, one for a micro SD card and another one for your SIM card. You can just pull them. That's not a very easy thing to do. You just have to first press one of the sides, and then you have to pull them. And here we go, that's the micro SD card right here. On the bottom you have only a microphone, and then on top you have a 3.5mm standard headset jack right in the middle. Then right next to it you have a micro USB port for charging the device, and also you have the lock-unlock power key on the top. One of the most controversial elements about this handset is its fixed focus, or as Nokia calls it, full focus camera. So you don't actually have autofocus here, and you also have a dual LED flash. This handset is not only about the screen size, but it's also about the beautiful new Symbian Anna. You can see the new icons, they are everywhere, and you can see how nicely rounded they are. It's actually a minor addition, but still a noteworthy one. And you can also see these transitions, these real-time scrolling transitions between the different home panes. Previously you didn't have this kind of real-time transition in Symbian, so that's one of the new features of Symbian Anna. But the overall layout of Symbian Anna and Symbian in general hasn't changed. If you tap the right-hand corner right here, you get some information about the time and your connection status. Here we are not connected to any network. And on the right, you also get to see how much battery you have left. And except for that, we can say that the 680 MHz processor runs fairly smoothly in most times, but not as smooth as you would expect it to run on a contemporary platform. You can definitely notice some slowdown even when you try to switch between home screens. And if you hold down the menu key right in the middle, you get to a kind of a task manager where you can quickly switch between your most recent tasks. It also, a quick click on it takes you to the main menu. Here you can see the whole beauty of the redesigned icons in Symbian Anna. And let's start with the calendar. It's completely redesigned, so if we switch to landscape mode, you'll see that it also supports a dual pane layout, and actually that's the default layout. And here you can see in the right hand side you have your latest meeting, so you can tap on it and see the details. And on the right hand side, on the left hand side, you have your calendar, which is pretty neat. If you pinch to zoom, you can get the calendar into full screen mode, and if you double tap on a date, you can get your schedule for the particular day, which is pretty handy. And the music player in Symbian Anna hasn't changed much. Actually, it looks pretty much like the one on the previous editions of Symbian. If we tap on a particular album, you can choose a song and pay attention to the rich and clear sound coming from the stereo speakers at the bottom of the handset. And that's definitely top-notch audio quality. We love that feature of the Nokia X7. One of the biggest new additions to Symbian is the browser 7.3, a redesigned version of the stock Symbian browser with a clean-looking interface. So that's how the browser looks like. No buttons to get in your way. You only have the back button and the menu button right here. And if you tap on the address bar, you see the all new Portrait QWERTY virtual keyboard, and you have 3 rows of symbols and a 4th row for your shift, spacebar, and backspace button. And if we switch to the numbers here and different other symbols, you see that you have 3 rows, and that's a different layout for the numbers. In comparison to other platforms where we have just a single row. So let's just try to load PhoneArena.com right here. We're connected to a Wi-Fi network, so it should be pretty fast. And the browser also supports HTML5, Adobe Flash, of course, and it comes with CSS3 support. So it should be a pretty good browser. It's also hardware accelerated. So we see that it loaded pretty fast. It continues loading probably some flash banners right here, and as you can see, it runs fairly smoothly, not as good as you would expect to see on other say Android handsets or on Apple device, but still pretty good. You can pinch to zoom in and out. You can also double tap like this. And tapping on this very button right here brings you to different settings that you have for the browser. You can switch between multiple open windows or open a new window. You can see that happens with a slight lag. You can go back right here, and you also can search for words in the web page. You can browse your history, add feeds, or save a bookmark. The Nokia X7 comes with an 8-megapixel fixed focus camera unit, which unfortunately produces subpar images, which are rather washed out in terms of colors and overexposed. But you can try to tune this with a number of options that you have available. You can select the scene modes in the menu right here. So if we tap on the scene modes, you can see what kind of adjustments you can make. You can also select your light sensitivity, exposure, as well as white balance, and even contrast and sharpness, which is plenty of options for you to play with. And switching to the camera, you can see that the handset records video in HD 720p quality. The files are encoded as MPEG-4, and we have the same issues just as in the photos, with the colors looking washed out and very overexposed overall. So that's what you get in terms of editing options. You can select scenes and white balance, color tones, and exposure, but that hardly justifies the below average quality of the recordings. The Nokia X7 comes with a pretty rich video editor. So for example, here we have added a couple of pictures and a video clip, and we can actually edit those. You can add transitions, music, texts, or even clip parts of, trim parts of the recordings for making a full-featured video. That's a pretty remarkable feature of the Nokia X7 and Symbian in general. Nokia has also tried to work on its social networking integration, and what you get is a social, something like a social hub. The social application in Symbian Anna unifies all your social applications like Twitter or Facebook, and you can just browse around and look at other people's status updates or the newsfeed update in Facebook, for example. It works pretty good, but still not as fast as we would like it to be, but it's still a welcome addition. The Nokia X7 comes with 2 pre-installed games, and one of them is Asphalt 5. So let's take a look at how the handset performs with this game. And of course, you can use the accelerometer to control your gaming experience, but here we can also tap on the sides, and you can see that it's slightly choppy in terms of frame rates, but Overall, it's definitely playable and it's definitely a welcome addition to have to your platform. That's how Asphalt 5 looks on the Nokia X7. One of the main reasons for getting a Nokia handset, of course, is the free voice-guided turn-by-turn navigation and excellent OV maps right here. And we can take a look at how this software runs on the Nokia X7. It does support maps for different regions. You can download local maps from the OV store, and you have a number of options. And if we tap on the settings button, you can choose to see a night mode view. You can also see the transit lines. That's the latest version of the maps application for the Nokia X7. You can also check in and share your location with different services. You can get driving and walking navigation. So it's a pretty rich application. In terms of the pure call quality, the Nokia X7 is above average but far from perfect. We like the noise cancellation mechanism with a dedicated microphone, but unfortunately we didn't like the quality of the built-in microphone for our conversations. Our callers reported hearing us with an unnatural digitalized tone, so that might be something you want to consider before buying this handset. The Nokia X7 brings the best of Symbian. With its Symbian Anna update, you have a whole new interface, but unfortunately even the new interface fails to deliver to the expectations for a contemporary smartphone platform. And unfortunately, the hardware department is where Nokia fails as well. You have a rather modest 680 megahertz processor and only 256 megabytes of RAM, which makes the overall experience on the handset very sluggish at times. The choice of a fixed focus camera unit is also not for the good. We would wish to see an autofocus unit, but unfortunately that's the reality of Nokia's situation at the moment. And for a price of nearly 450 euro in Europe, where the handset is available now, you can get something much better like a dual-core handset, one like the Samsung Galaxy S2 or the LG Optimus 2X, which both trump the Nokia X7 in terms of both hardware and software. But the handset definitely packs some appeal for the die-hard Nokia fan. You can find the best of Symbian in the latest update. So if you're one of those people, you like the Nokia X7. In any other case, however, you'd find much more appeal in other handsets running Android or iOS. For a more detailed review, check out PhoneArena.com. Thanks for watching.